I'm $8,863 into this game, Whiteout Survival, and it is day 70. And we have so much to talk about today because there's so much that unlocked. First of all, we're now in the Fire Crystal Age, which is exciting, except we're going to be doing SVS prep soon, and we're saving everything, so I can't use them. So it's exciting to be in the Fire Crystal Age. It's exciting to see the features here, but it's a total bummer that I'm just going to have to be, accumulating them and looking at red dots for many weeks to come. So hopefully it'll pay off. Hopefully we'll get an edge in the SVS prep when it finally comes. But this is an exciting account milestone. We are now in the Fire Crystal Age, and I have only 60 of them. And then when I realized how much it takes to upgrade just one stage at a time, I think I was told that we're going to need 660 in total to get to FC1, and then you still have to start doing the other buildings. It's going to be quite an interesting grind. So now I know what people were talking about when they said fire crystals become kind of a little bit expensive, because I'm going to want to get them from everywhere now. So that's the next the next thing I'm going to have to grind. On top of that, we're finishing off the romance season events, and I'm going to tell you something I found about Rosarion, that I did something wrong in my own spreadsheet because I overlooked it too quickly. And finally, we have the Gilded Age being teased now. So there is a kind of horizontal video that plays for this, that you claim a little prize, but this is a teaser for I believe this is the Chinese New Year event that's coming up, and that's going to start tomorrow after the reset, from what I understand, and go pretty much almost to the end of the month. So that's exciting, because I've been waiting for this event for a while so that I can finally do some spend and use some gems that's going to get me to VIP 12 with any luck. So we're right there. We're in the home stretch. This is the spending I've been waiting for. And I think, the reason I'm doing this, when I say I'm trying to be an efficient whale, it doesn't mean I'm not trying to spend. It means that the spend that I do is supposed to be as efficient as I can make it, but also there's things that are time related. Obviously the shops will get better over time, but now is where we're at. Like, the Chinese New Year's happens to hit when I'm only 70 days in. If I started the game earlier, it might be hitting when I was 120 days in, and the shop value would be better, but that's not my luck. This is I'm playing the hand that I was dealt. So that's where we're at. So that's exciting. Let's go through some of the quick things first, the spend. So first things first, and I'll do VIP last. If we just come into the regular shop here, I've already done a bunch of these. I'm not going to press those any further, especially when we have Chinese New Year event coming up soon. And I just did a little bit of that spending for, basic SVS prep stuff. I'm still going to grab the daily deals so I can get the general shards, mythic shards. But now look at this. We have something new. Now, unlike the other weekly cards that I said, I know you guys tell me pets are worth it, but I was trying to conserve for Chinese New Year and stuff. I'm gonna reconsider the pets actually at some point, but not right now. We'll see if I reconsider that in the future. But I'm gonna grab my monthly value card daily, and then I'm gonna grab this Fire Crystal weekly card, because we're at a point now where I'm going to need to start accumulating these. This isn't necessarily the best deal. I know there's probably going to be better deals and better ways to get them, but we're just at the beginning of the Fire Crystal Age. I need to spend $5 for VIP purchase anyways, and that'll give me, 6 Fire Crystals daily, so, and 10 right off the bat. So, let's, we'll do it for that reason. Then the question is, do I want to spend here as well? And for this one, I have a day, probably not. This isn't particularly good value, I don't think. Even if you look at the value here was 2,500%, this is 1,260. I mean, I'll probably reserve this for if I need to, but, it's like the Mithril, from what I understand, now that it's unlocked, the Mithril getting this once a week, it's just hard to get. It's truly hard to get. From what I understand, and from what I've seen people playing in more advanced states, the Fire Crystals are a nuisance to try to accumulate, but you will get them in the game. So hopefully I won't really need them that urgently right away, but it could actually be an advantage, because just for that first level, I'm going to need, I'm going to need 600 more to get to FC1 eventually. So, I may have to spend on some of these events, but let's just see how things land with Chinese New Year before I start spending here. because it's usually the worst value. It's the thing I look to the least. Weekly benefits, so we're all good. And now we're going to come to the romance season. So I did already, because we had, I think I explained this yesterday, but because we had Bear yesterday, I did already buy the Harbor of Hope, so I got that started. And now I'm pretty sure like there's no reason for me to spend any more at this point. I mean, it would be nice to accumulate more of these Love Struck buildings, but we'll just do it over time. And I'm trying, this is an example where I am trying to play more efficiently. So I am going to continue to buy these up to the $10 mark, like I said I was going to do. And I'm just going to save those silver shells. So past the $5 mark isn't super efficient, but it's not super horrible either. It's just where the inefficiency starts. So up to the $10 mark. And then I'm just going to save those silver shells. And then I'll do I started doing the grind, but I didn't do them all before recording, but I'll just do the daily grind and get as much as I can from that as well. And then soon this event is over and I'll just have those silver shells for the next event, the next time there's a Silver Frost shop. So now let's come to the bloom battle. I made a mistake in my spreadsheet, and in the video I recorded with the spreadsheet, I did say how important it was to make sure that you change your troop types. And I changed the troop type only for infantry. When I changed all the troop types to the correct troop type for my account, it turns out that my perfect ratio is supposed to be 3:19:78. So the only thing is, I don't know, I've won this first place a bunch of times. I don't really want to keep on spending the gems and the buffs for the buffs and everything. And I may actually need it, but I don't think I will. So I'm just gonna go with without, well, let me see. I'll just put one, maybe I'll just put one buff on. I don't really want to do that because we do have, well, it is nice. It is nice to have, how much does it cost? All right, well, I already did it. So that was the deployment. This one costs 20,000 gems since I don't have it already, and I can usually get them from the VIP shop cheaper. So it is nice to have, but I really want this for tomorrow. If I need to help with Sunfire Castle battle or just for points. So that's all I'm going to do is that deployment capacity one. That's going to have to be good enough. I think somebody already got the presidential, like they have the queue working up, and I don't want to bother the president to give me the buff tonight. So let's just roll with this. Just all I'm doing tonight is the increased deployment capacity, and that's it. There, of course, I'm progressing the account. I got the Harbor of Hope now, so that'll help with damage as well. But let's see where things land. I think for comparison, last night I had 650,000 points. Now tonight I'm using a different ratio, and this is 3:19:78, and I have less buffs. So let's see what the damage turns out to be tonight. I don't know if it's going to be, substantially worse, because those were some stacked buffs that I had enabled last night. I had the attack and the lethality and the deployment capacity. And I think I did have Harbor of Hope last night because we did Bear at 6 o'clock. So let's see what the first hit looks like. And then, all right, 80,000. Yeah, that's substantially less than what I was getting yesterday. And if we do 80,000 times 5, that'll only put me at 400,000. And I probably need more than that. So I've got so much invested in those buildings. You know what? I am going to go ahead and I'll see if I can grab them from VIP shop, but I'm going to go ahead and enable that just because I want to make sure I have that little bit of an edge. And then see how that looks. Just want to make sure, I've just got so much invested in this event already, I might as well just ensure that I'm gonna do what I can at least to make sure that I'm gonna be at the top of that list. right. All right, that's better. 109, I'll take that. Let me just clear this out. Clear this out so it doesn't bother me. Wait for that return. And then we'll send it back out. I'm tempted to play around with the ratio, but I trust, from previous sessions, I trust that the math is correct. So I mean, there's a certain amount of variability that you can't avoid, and that spreadsheet helps calculate it right down to the T. I did update some other things that changed on the account since Harbor of Hope, and I did make sure I have the right troop ratios now, or the correct troop types now. That's FC0 T10. So I don't think there's much better you can do than that. And it's going to be hard to tell. You'd have to do many, many, many sessions because of that randomness. You'd have to do many sessions to see if it actually made a difference or not. All right, 120. That's nice. That's a nice hit. Wait for that to come back. I am excited about the Chinese New Year. In particular, as I understand it, one of the events in there, there's an opportunity to spend gems. Like, I think you get some kind of rewards for spending gems, and I'm going to use that towards between the spend and the VIP points. So hopefully, if I have the message correct, it's like one of those events where, like, kind of like, I hope it's something like Alliance Mobilization, where you can double dip, where I will be able to spend the gems on VIP, but then get a reward for spending gems. And if it's anything like that, then that's going to be nice, because I'll be able to, you know, put those gems towards VIP and then get event credit for it during the event. All right, 100, 101,804. Not the best, but not the worst. So wait for that to come back. I get one more attack. Let's see where I'm at right now. Okay, hopefully that's enough of a margin. Because it is very nice to have those 10 island decoration, I'm going to call them shards. I think they call them something else. Components, I think they call them. Upgrade components. All right. One more hit on the Rosarion. We get a chance to see what that looks like. And then between that and the rest of this, essentially for this Petals of Desire, or no, not the Petals of Desire, oh yeah, it's gone. The other event, that Mahjong type game, like I just did what I could to get all the skin tokens I can without spending any money, because I didn't really see the point. It's like that game is kind of rigged. It's got so much, like so many layers that are stacked. 107, all right, not too bad. Again, not the best, but not the worst. All right, so, whoops. This is where I'm at with the Bloom battle. It's not too bad, 520 without, well, he just had, like, not all the buffs that I normally have. So, that's not too bad. Now, the other thing, again, I was able to come in third amongst a sea of huge whales in Arena. So, this was nice. I'll take that. It's not easy. Like, I have to wait until the very, very last minute. Like, I barely get enough time to get the hits in, and try to kind of keep my head low so they can't snipe me, and then come right at the very last minute. It's very difficult, but I did manage to do all right. That's where we stand with Arena. And then, you know, Hall of Chiefs, again, not doing anything. Really, I'm just buying for it and then saving, because I'm not doing anything to press Hall of Chiefs at all. So, no surprise that total ranking, 21. I was going to say total ranking is in the tank, but 21 isn't also bad. But I'm not trying to do anything there. That's where that stands. Okay, so we did the spending here, and we're going to save those. And we're waiting for Chinese New Year. And now let's take a look at, and I did the Rosarion, so now let's just take a look at VIP. Pets, I'm not going to show tonight, and then I'm going to explain something about Sunfire Castle as well. Because we have that battle tomorrow morning, but I'm not going to stream it this time. I'll explain why. All right, so that's looking pretty good towards VIP 12. It's looking pretty good. All right, so now the last thing. So pets I'm not going to describe, I'm not going to show because until we do SVS prep week, I'm not touching pets. The same with like hero gears and stuff. I've been just slowly as I can grinding up the hero gear levels just by enhancing, not master forging. So none of this, but I do need more essence stones. I noticed I need more essence stones than I have when it comes time for SVS prep week. So that's something I'm gonna have to deal with. I do every bear and everything, but I'm gonna need more, obviously. So, so here we have the, just doing enhancement whenever I can. And I'm trying to get like, playing around with like which to optimize, but it really, to some degree, doesn't matter. Like I don't want to keep on doing them so evenly that I can't press one of the gears and get an advantage. So I started bringing up Alonso's to 60, 50 and stuff like this. But I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to pick like Geronimo's goggles and I'm going to try to get these to 100, as soon as I can. So I'll just keep on pressing that and try to get his goggles to 100, and then I'll just work on the rest. Then maybe I'll move on to Alonso and try to get his belt to 100 or something like that, just to kind of do it a little bit unevenly, but focus on one piece of gear at a time. But, during SVS prep week, I'll also be able to press the master forging as well, so that'll change things also. All right, so that's kind of what I'm doing with the hero gear. And now the last thing to talk about is Sunfire Castle Battle. So there's like, I think I described this to you guys before. There is some drama going on in the state. I don't actually know what's going on with the castle battle tomorrow. We're supposed to be rotating it. One of the alliances asked me for help, but then the conversation got a little bit sideways because, she was upset about something. So I can't follow the conversation all that well. I think she's like upset with some of the things our leader is doing. So essentially, I don't think I'm going to be helping them because I wasn't asked ultimately. I think I was trying to get clarification and didn't get any, and I'm gonna have to wake up at like 6 in the morning to get ready for this battle anyways. So I'm gonna get up early tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try to just basically collect my event points, but this should be like a negotiated battle, so it's gonna be kind of like practice more than anything. I'll just go around and attack the turrets and attack things for event points, and that's it. It's not gonna be a super exciting Sunfire Castle battle. So that's all I'm going to do, and I'm not going to stream it because I think there's no reason. Maybe I'll record it just so I can show some snippets of it or something, but there's not going to be a reason to stream it for many hours at a time when it's not going to necessarily be an exciting battle. It could be that that changes and I miss an opportunity to record something that could end up being a little spicy, but I don't feel like it's going to end up being anything special. So that's why I'm not streaming the castle battle this time. We will, as we get into SVS prep, I'll definitely think about that because should be more exciting. And certainly SVS prep itself should be more exciting. If you have any suggestions for me, am I doing the right things? Things you want me to think about? Efficiencies you think I'm missing opportunities for? Now that we're in the Fire Crystal age, what else should I be looking for? Are there things happening in the shops? I didn't even look in the shops. Let's see. Are there Fire Crystals in the shops now? I don't see it yet. So, yeah, I don't see any Fire Crystals in these shops yet. So is this gonna come after a reset? When's this gonna happen? Maybe because they didn't refresh yet, because these refresh after. Yeah, this refreshes in a day. Arena shop refreshes in a day. So I would imagine some of these will get Fire Crystals at some point. But if you have any suggestions for me on what I should be thinking about, what I should be doing now, please drop it in the comments so I can start thinking about that and start prepping. My Chinese New Year is going to be my next focus, but I really do want to start understanding what are the things I should be doing of value to pursue the Fire Crystal age or in the Fire Crystal age. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, I'll see you later.